Okay, I think we're up and running. Hopefully. I should check on that and figure that out for sure at some point. But anyways, I have returned. I have checked to confirm that the door to the Chantry does not crash immediately before I started stream, because on all my other playthroughs it would. It did not. I suspect it's thanks to the 4 gig patch, but anyways, off we go, onwards. There's so many exclamation points and people to talk to.
You've got a bed for the night. You taken care of?
I am about as well taken care of as I am ever going to be. And I was hoping I could help you, because that's my power fantasy.
We need blades right now. We need beds, food, and an end to all these sad sots. I don't suppose you know anything of tonics, medicines, or herbs.
I would have no idea, but maybe a friend?
Then you may be able to do us a lot of good. All manner of travellers come through, many injured or sick. We do our best, but we're out of supplies. There's medicinal herbs in the woods to the north. If you make a few poultices, I'll scrape together some sort of payment. I'll write all you need to know in this note here.
Ah, yes, a note. Thank you very much. I'm going to attempt to do all the side quests. We'll see if I manage to not forget anyone on the way out of here.
Hello, stranger. I don't suppose you know anyone that can make traps?
I'm not sure if I have any companions that can do trap making either. What do you need them for?
Old man Barlin said that Darkspawn may be coming soon. He's got traps on his farm. I figured I'd put a few on my lands. Barlin wants to poison his traps. I just want normal traps.
Oh, the inhumanity of poisoning them as opposed to sticking the little creatures with normal traps. Why don't you just get some?
None to be had. Barlin has all the traps in the village in his fields.
Ah, there's trap politics. I guess I can't make any.
I didn't mean to bother you. Sorry.
It's okay, honey bun. Yeah, I think she's just out of luck. Oops. Note to self, have 1 point in crafting before I talk to this person.
Why do you always go on about how stupid I am? I'm not stupid, am I?
If you need to ask the question...
Because it hurts my manly feelings, you know. Or one of them.
Then I'll be sure to write you an apology once all of this is over.
I was educated by the Chantry. I studied history. They don't make stupid Templars.
Then I must have been mistaken. I'm very impressed.
No, you're not. You're not even listening to me.
My, you are smarter than you look after all. Your Chantry must have been very proud.
Oh, she's so sarcastic. I do so love Morrigan. Is there anything clickable back here? Yes. Yes, there is. I have been rewarded by mushrooms. Good thing I came around that corner. Imagine what I would have been missing if I hadn't. Can we repeat this with any of the other out-of-the-way corners around here? It doesn't look like that one has anything of note. I see sparkles in this direction. Hello.
Please, we came here to get away from the fighting.
Hopefully none of you are attached to anything in here. It belongs to me now. It's so good to have someone who can lockpick in the party. No longer am I foiled by the unopenable chests. Okay. And I know for a fact. Aha! I thought I had walked past him earlier, but nay.
You accuse me of thievery.
Oh?
I saw you take the supplies from my car. Your grassland eyes are inept. A chastened would never stoop to petty theft. You marsh folk are all thieves and liars.
Enough! People here are already desperate and frightened. They don't need you two coming to blows.
But what about my food? I said enough!
Come on. There's something
That
amiss.
marshman stole from me, I know it!
I talked to
The
you.
carnage we left in the wilds was horrifying.
You do not seem a refugee. Are you part of the army?
Hello, sir. I guess I can't talk to you. Who are you? Where are you going? I don't know if this is a quest or like if it's just a little ambient exchange. Oh, and away he goes. The world may never know. Okay, we have someone important to talk to over here, actually.
Shokebasitisra. Arit, mera de twasit, abana kyun, maras shokra, ananne sam kyun.
Kyun. Kyun. I always have a hard time pronouncing Kyun. I think that's how you pronounce it.
You aren't one of my captors. I will not amuse you any more than I have the other humans. Leave me in peace.
What are you? Seems like a reasonable question from a young, sheltered lass.
A prisoner. I'm in a cage, am I not? I've been placed here by the Chantry.
The revered mother said he slaughtered an entire family, even the children.
Wow.
It is, as she says. I am Sten of the Beresad, the vanguard of the Kunari peoples.
I'm Melissa. Pleased to meet you.
You mock me. Or you show manners I have not come to expect in your lands. Though it matters little now, I will die soon enough.
This is a proud and powerful creature, trapped as prey for the Darkspawn. If you cannot see a use for him, I suggest releasing him for mercy's sake alone.
Mercy? I wouldn't have expected that from you.
I would also suggest that Alistair take his place in the cage.
Yes, that's what I would have expected.
I suggest you leave me to my fate.
Look, Morrigan advocates for mercy. She has a heart. I guess we're gonna ask what he did to end up in there.
I have been convicted of murder. Have the villagers not spoken of this?
Liliana just did, but I kind of want to hear about it from you.
The people of a farm hold 8 humans, in addition to the children.
Wow. That's pretty rough.
Are you asking if I feel guilt or if I am responsible for the deed? However I feel, whatever I've done, my life is forfeit now.
Why did you do it?
Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret.
That's fair. How long have you been there?
20 days now. I shouldn't last much longer, another week at most.
That's an awful long time.
Compared to your kind, maybe.
Interested in atonement? By slaughtering unrelated creatures?
Death will be my atonement.
There are alternative methods.
Perhaps. What does your wisdom say is equal to my crime?
You could help me defend the land against the Blight. That's a good cause.
The Blight? Are you a Grey Warden, then?
Indeed I am.
Surprising. My people have heard legends of the Grey Warden's strength and skill. Though I suppose not every legend is true.
That's awfully judgmental of you.
Perhaps if you told her the Grey Wardens need my assistance, it seems as likely to bring my death as waiting here.
Aye, sounds like a plan.
Farewell, then.
To be left here to starve? Or to be taken by the Darkspawn? No one deserves that. Not even a murderer.
I like that we are a very merciful party of people. I'm a big fan. Okay, I see sparkles, so I am immediately a little bit distracted, but I think what I want to do is I want to go through the Codex before it gets to be 3 hours long.
Enemies approaching!
Oh, oop. Where? Oh, okay. I wasn't prepared for this. And I guess I will use one of my defense modes. Let me see, I don't actually know what all these do off the top of my head. And then Morrigan, can you do anything, baby girl?
I tried to be merciful.
Oh goodness, it hurts. The world has not been kind to me. Alright, well maybe all these defensive modes will help. Aye. Not bad, not bad, not horrible.
Good.
Aye. Easy peasy. That was unexpected, but no big deal. And I definitely did not come within an inch of my life. Right there, goodness. Why would that ever happen? Are there any sparkly corpses? I don't see any more sparkly corpses. I need to get what I came here for. Yes, good, thank you. Plants! The real plant gathering game, that's what Dragon Age Origins is. Can I unlock this? Yeah, I sure can. Alright, and then since I did say this a second ago before I got miserably distracted, we're gonna look at the Codex. I think I assume I have not read alphas or emissaries. In any group of genlocks, there is usually one who is dominant. As the tallest, strongest, and smartest of their kind, alphas serve as a sort of commander, directing or bullying the others in combat. Emissaries. The most intelligent of the alphas become gifted sorcerers with many abilities akin to blood magic. These are the emissaries, and they usually only appear during a blight. Good to know. Ah, ogres. Towering over their darkspawn kin, the massive ogres are a rare sight on the battlefield. Traditionally, they only appear during a blight, but some records claim that ogres have been spotted in the deep roads hunting alone or in small groups. At least one report by the Grey Wardens claims that an ogre was spotted alone in the Kokari Wilds in 919 Dragon, though it was weakened and easily dispatched. Up to 100 of these creatures can accompany a darkspawn horde at any one time during a blight, often using their great strength to burst through fortifications and demolish the front lines of the opposing army. They use brute force to charge their enemies like bulls, slam the ground with their fists to shake enemies off their feet, and hurl giant rocks into the face of oncoming foes. Melee can be difficult against a giant that snatches up a warrior in one hand, crushing the life out of him or beating him into oblivion with the other hand. The nimble can try to wiggle his way free, or an ally can attempt an array of stunning blows on an ogre to free the comrade in danger. I take it that's gameplay relevant. That's it telling you how to get out of the grab attack thing. The more you know. Grey Warden lore urges caution when slaying an ogre. Unless it is ensured that they have received a major wound to the head or the heart, it is possible that they are lying dormant, and will regenerate to full health within a matter of minutes. During a blight, most Grey Wardens recommend burning all darkspawn to ashes. Dead ogres in particular, quote unquote. That seems like a very prudent policy to have. Ooh, Havard's Aegis. Havard was Mafarat's closest friend. They were children together in the same Avar clan. They fought side by side in so many battles that Mafarat dubbed him Havard the Aegis, better to have at his side than any shield. Mafarat brought Havard with him to meet with the Tevinters. It was unthinkable to stand before his enemies without his Aegis. When he understood that Mafarat was giving Andraste over to be executed, Havard, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Tevinter soldiers. The Tevinters struck him down, and Mafarat left him for dead. But Aegis was not so easily destroyed. Havard lived and made his way, gravely wounded, to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. Too late. He found only the ashes of the prophet left to the wind and rain. When his fingers touched the ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw a vision of Andraste dressed in cloth of starlight. She knelt at his side, saying, "Rise, Aegis of faith, the Maker shall never forget you so long as I remember." His wounds healed instantly, and with new strength, Havard gathered up Andraste's remains and carried them safely back to the lands of the Alamari. Wow, what a stand-up guy. Good for him. Alright, there's only one entry in the notes. Aha! A note from Sir Henrik. I believe this is quest relevant, potentially. So many of my fellow knights have been searching for the urn. Surely one of them must have found Brother Genitivi by now. Until I hear that all is well, I must proceed as planned. Brother Genitivi holds the key to finding the urn of sacred ashes. We always knew this, but I believe I now know where Brother Genitivi lies. I have been to his home in Denerim and found the trail, and I am amazed that other knights have not done likewise. Unless they have. No, it is best not to get caught up in thoughts of conspiracy. Sir Donal awaits my report in Lothering. I must go to him immediately and report what I have learned. Should anyone find these ramblings, all I ask is that he be informed of my fate. I pray that he complete what I cannot. A note from Sir Henrik of Redcliffe. Ah yes, this is all the sacred ashes stuff, where it begins. I'm just gonna click through these. I don't need to read the tutorials. I can figure out a world map. I got this. Okay, I joined the Blackstone Irregulars, not strictly aware of what they do, so maybe reading their actual letters will be enlightening. I just saw there were quests, and I was like, sign me up. Throw me in, chief. A letter written in careful script, addressed to you. To the inimitable Grey Warden. Your deeds have spread since the tragedy of Ostagar, and I find myself in need of one such as you. I am Raelnor, captain of the venerable Blackstone Irregulars, and I hope to win your trust. The Irregulars have come on hard times since the war with Orlais, but I have fought to improve their reputation. Gone are the days of my father's shady deals with unscrupulous nobles in Denerim. No, I have trained a guild filled with honorable men ready to fight for Ferelden, and I am proud to say that I have seen your own Grey Wardens as a sort of model. We are not perfect. My own son advocates a move back to the more lucrative way my father ran that guild, but we are steadfast. It is in this context that I ask for your help, and I promise we will reward you accordingly. Should you be willing, please find letters in this box and others like it all over the land and carry out the requests therein. For this matter, consider requests from my son as if they came from myself. And thank you again from the bottom of my heart, whether you choose to assist us or not. You are doing the Maker's work, Warden, and I am honored to work with you. Raelnor. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. So, I guess it's kind of interesting that he sends us this letter when the Grey Wardens are, like, demonized throughout the land currently for supposedly killing the king. It just makes you think. Why does he like us so much at this moment? Has he seen through the facade, or does he approve of what he hears? Alright, let's see what this has to say. Blackstone Letter of Conscription. Dear friend, you are receiving this letter because you or someone else placed your name on an article of conscription, thereby pledging your life to the Blackstone Irregulars. With war looming on all fronts, the Irregulars must build their numbers. We are forced to call upon those who have sworn their assistance to make good on those oaths. Say farewell to your friends and family. While you may return to them, you must prepare for the possibility that this will be your last day together. Your sacrifice is appreciated. Tauran. This letter is marked with the seal of the Blackstone Irregulars. I guess it's a mercenary group? Seems a little forceful. Oh god, there's so many character entries. Ah! Okay. I think we read this bit. His mother was a servant girl who died when Alistair was very young. He was raised by Eamon Garin, Earl of Redcliffe, for a time. The Earl's wife, Isolde, suspected the reason her husband took an interest in the welfare of a servant's child was that Alistair was Eamon's son. He insisted that the boy be sent away to the Chantry. That sounds like a functional family. Oh, Queen Enora! We have been given the gift of freedom by our forebears. Let us not squander it. The only child of the war hero Logain MacTyr, Enora has never been one to stay quietly in the background. It is common knowledge that in the 5 years Enora and Caitlin held the throne together, she was the one wielding the power. She is held in much higher esteem than her husband by the people of Ferelden, nobility and commoners alike, and commands the respect of even foreign nations, having once inspired Empress Selene of Orlais to declare Enora of Ferelden is a solitary rose among brambles. Ah, what a flowery backhanded compliment. That seems like an Orlesian thing to do. I think the only update here is for King Caitlin. He fell in battle alongside Duncan at Ostagar. F in the chat for you, friend. Sir Cothrian. Some of us know what honor and loyalty are. Cothrian came to Logain's service the hard way. She belonged to a poor family and was out doing work on the farm when she saw a man on horseback being attacked by several bandits. He rushed to his assistance and found out belatedly that the man she saved was none other than the great hero Loghain. Though she was hardly more than a child, he took her in, offering her a position with his soldiers, and she climbed through the ranks through sheer determination. Becoming the commander of Merrick's Shield, Loghain's elite soldiers, was the proudest moment of her life. I assume that is his, second-in-command looking lady? But for her? Most excellent for her, really. Okay. I think I read this bit. He was killed in battle against overwhelming numbers of Darkspawn at Ostagar alongside King Kaelin. I guess it's nice that the Codex updates with all the stuff that's happened, but it's kind of depressing to go through these and just see the little line. Died at Ostagar. Died at Ostagar. Ahem. Nobility does not exist without obligation. We owe all we have, even our lives, to our land and our people, according to Arl Eamon Garen. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. As the maternal uncle of King Kaelin, Arl Eamon is one of the king's most trusted advisors. Redcliffe, while not a large or especially wealthy part of Ferelden, is a critical strategic location. The fortress guards the western pass that leads to Orlais, as well as the major trade route with Orzammar. A well-respected man, though not the most charismatic, King Kaelin once said of him, "My uncle Eamon is a man everyone thinks well of, when they remember to think of him at all." He fell ill with a mysterious condition that even magic could not treat. I don't know what it is with the backhanded compliments, but they sure are on point. Flemeth. Okay, let's see. I don't think I've read this yet. Maybe. Or maybe I have. Huh. This is the unfortunate part about reading all of these. I'm not sure. We're gonna read it again because Flemeth's that relevant. You are required to do nothing, least of all believe. Ages ago, legend says Ban Conobar took to wife a beautiful young woman who harbored a secret talent for magic. Flemeth of Highever. Oh, she comes from Highever. Maybe I did read this. Who knows? And for a time they lived happily until the arrival of a young poet, Osen, who captured the lady's heart with his verse. They turned to the chastened tribes for help and hid from Conobar's wrath in the wilds until word came to them that Conobar lay dying. His last wish was to see Flemeth's face one final time. The lovers returned, but it was a trap. Conobar killed Osen and imprisoned Flemeth in the highest tower of the castle. In grief and rage, Flemeth worked a spell to summon a spirit into this world to wreak vengeance upon her husband. Vengeance she received, but not as she planned. The spirit took possession of her, turning Flemeth into an abomination. A twisted, maddened creature, she slaughtered Conobar and all his men and fled back into the wilds. For 100 years, Flemeth plotted, stealing men from the Chasen to sire monstrous daughters, horrific things that could kill a man with fear. These Korkari witches led an army of Chasen from the wilds to strike at the Alamari tribes. They were defeated by the hero Cormac, and all the witches burned, so they say, but even now the Wilders whisper that Flemeth lives on in the marsh, and she and her daughters still those men who come too near. Morrigan's mother saved the last Grey Wardens from death at the top of the Tower of Ishal, but just who or what Flemeth truly is a mystery! Insert screaming noises. Oof, I wonder when we will learn more about that. Okay, Liliana. This one's definitely new and isn't just a case of me having goldfish brain memory. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace, and in that stillness I could hear the Maker. A lay sister of the Chantry who can beat the stuffing out of trained mercenaries would be notable enough, but one who also claims to have been sent to fight the Darkspawn by the Maker himself is unusual, to say the least. She joined Alistair and Alyssa in Lothering, insisting that she would prove useful, and gosh dang it, she sure will. Okay. I wonder, does this quote change? I'm so intrigued. If only I remembered. Okay. Understand this. I will brook no threats of the station from you or anyone. I need to go back and see if that changed, because that actually does intrigue me. Anyways, pretty sure this is the new part. During the battle at Ostagar, he fled the field, leaving King Kaelin and the Grey Wardens to die. He then returned to Denham and declared himself the regent to his daughter, Queen Honora, demanding that Ferelden follow him against the Darkspawn, upsetting a great many of the bands. His actions sparked a civil war. Loghain's supporters found themselves fighting their neighbors who blamed Loghain for the death of the king, as well as those who simply wished to take advantage of the power vacuum. Well, sounds like Loghain has a whole lot on his hands. Alright, Morrigan. Pretty sure this is new. Her mother claims to be Flemeth. If that's true, then the Morrigan, okay, might well be a very powerful witch. For the tales of the daughters of Flemeth tell of twisted, monstrous women who can kill a man with fear. She was made to accompany the surviving Grey Wardens, the payment, Flemeth said, for saving their lives at the Tower of Ishal. I guess the payment is, taking her daughter away. What a curious arrangement. Alright, Stan, who we just met, and who, frankly, I haven't used very much before. Maybe someday that will change. It definitely will not be today. Either you have an enviable memory or a pitiable life to know nothing of regret. This is a very good quote, though. No shade to Stan. The northern islands are remote, lush jungles that harbor cities rumored to be the most extraordinary ever built. These are the lands of the Kunari, lands that no foreign eyes ever see. Only the stories of the 3 exultant marches waged against the giants have reached the south, until the arrival of Sten. The stoic giant in the cage was surely the strangest thing the people of Lothering had ever seen, until the blight struck. Antigan Garen, ah yes. The good-looking fella. The Bannorn will not bow to you simply because you demand it. Younger brother to Arl Eamon of Redcliffe and uncle to King Caelan, Tegan holds the Bannorn of Rainsphere, a tiny province of Redcliffe squeezed between the Frostback Mountains and Lake Gallenhad. And Tegan avoids the Denerim court except to go hunting with his nephew and rarely makes himself heard at the Landsmeet, preferring to leave politics to his brother. Interesting, so he rarely makes himself heard, but in this Landsmeet, he is the one who speaks up. Oh, we get the separate Codex, oh my goodness. The crows send their regards. Between the Tevinter Imperium Ravane and the Free Marches sits the nation of Antiva. Although it possesses few resources of its own, Antiva's location makes it a center for trade in the north, and the capital, Antiva City, is the wealthiest in the world. Antiva has virtually no army. The monarchy is too weak to support one. Most Antivans would be hard-pressed even to name the current king, as the true power lies in the hands of a dozen merchant princes, each with a personal army and each locked in a constant struggle for power against all the others. Anyone would think, then, that Antiva would be a ripe target for invasion by one of her neighbors, but even the Kunari leave Antiva alone for one very good reason: the House of Crows. The most efficient, most feared, and most expensive guild of assassins in the world calls Antiva their home, and their reputation alone defends the borders. Okay, how cool is that? Look at that League of Assassins go. The Chastened. Interesting. Not sure. I'm pretty sure. I must not have read this one. Aight. The Chastened Wilders, quote unquote, have lived in the Kokari Wild since the first wars with the Alamari drove them southward a millennium ago. According to their own lore, they had always been a forest-dwelling people that adapted quickly to their new home. Game and fish are plentiful in the wetlands, and the Chastened thrived. For a time, they and the hill-dwelling Avars were true threats to the northern lowlands. The Tevinter Imperium had arrived and was hard-pressed to keep back the waves of invasions from the south and the west. The fortress of Ostagar was built specifically to watch for Chastened hordes venturing north of the tree line. It was not until the legendary warrior Hafter soundly defeated the Chastened in the first half of the Divine Age that the question of their ability to contest the lowlands was settled permanently. Today, the Chastened are considered largely peaceful, though their ways are still primitive compared to our own. In the Korkari Wilds, they live in strange-looking huts built on stilts or even built into the great treetops. They paint their faces and are split into small tribes ruled by shamans like those amongst the Avars. There are many tales of these shamans having learned their magic from the witches of the wilds, witches that inspire as much terror as they do awe and gratitude, even if there is no definitive proof they exist. One is in my party, potentially. In particular, the tale of Flemeth, the greatest witch of the wilds, is celebrated amongst all tribes. As it should be. Heck yeah, Flemeth. While there is no way to know how many there are in the wilds today, few travelers that pass through the forests tell of Chastened eking out an existence even in the frozen wastelands of the far south. One can assume that should the Chastened ever organize themselves once more, we might have reason to fear them here in Ferelden. We ignore them at our peril. From Ferelden, Folklore and History by Sister Petrin. Probably one of the most well-learned individuals on the face of this earth. Lothering! Ah, ha! This is a good name to remember. In ancient times, Lothering was little more than a trading post that served the fortress of Ostagar to the south. Nowadays it is larger, serving Redcliffe and the communities of merchants and surface dwarves near Orzammar. Its location on the North Road gives it strategic value, so control of Lothering has historically been a matter of contention between the southern Bannerman and the South Reach Arling. King Kellen had himself stepped in and awarded the town to South Reach in the Exalted Age, which has largely ended the feud, or at least the appearance of it. From In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. Hey, it's the guy that the Templars are looking for, or the Knights, rather. Alright, and I believe we're caught up on the Codex. And Lothering is definitely going to be known for something else in future games. Alright, since I'm here, and since I've just been reading rather a significant amount, I am going to actually walk forward and do things. I feel like I'm about to get attacked. Yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna pull. Okay. Delightful. They're also ready for violence. Look at them. Okay, I feel like I should do this one. And maybe like scoop. Alright, how much damage am I taking? Okay. And then Alistair is taking rather a significant amount of damage. Let me see if I can pull a little bit. Alright, there we go. I probably should not be turning my back to a rogue. That seems ill-advised. Please drink, madame. There you go. Good job. Alright, and now you. I need you to stop firing arrows. That's awfully uncouth of you. Liliana's allowed to, but no one else. Alright, hip hip hooray. Any lootables, anything of note. Ooh, sparkles. Alright, 3 silver. We take those. And I forget, is there anything over this way? Ooh. I think more people. But, oh, they're refugees. I'm pretty sure these attack. What if I don't want to hurt them? What if I have the foresight to, like, avoid their ambush? Or, oh, they are EXP though. Oh, this is gonna make me feel a little bad. Hi guys. I'm friendly. Hello.
I don't know what was said. You're a warden. I don't know if you killed King Caelan.
Oh no.
And make her forgive me. I don't care. But that bounty on your head could
Oh
feed a
no,
lot
is
of
this
hungry
because I
bellies.
revealed I'm a warden?
Attack!
I didn't realize that. Oops. I am so sorry. I should have never admitted to it. It was for the Sten brownie voice. Forgive me. I'm gonna do this, actually. I think that's better. No one is shooting at me. Liliana is yes. Oh, that was a right proper stun. I am very impressed. I think that was pretty pog. Good job. Give me that 14 EHP and we'll just scoot over to the side a little bit before we go at it. Any sparkles? I mean, you know, it's kind of sad that there are no sparkles, but it would also make sense because they are broke refugees.
I shall do it.
Who are trying to kill me for the bounty. And that makes me feel a little bit extra bad. Ooh. Okay, I'm gonna give Liliana the other another dagger because I had her using one. She really should be using more. Hey, is there anything over this ways if we move back? I don't know. I don't see anything. We're going forward, onwards. If I remember correctly, there are spiders of the giant kind out here. And I think that's where we get poison stuff too. I'm gonna save quick though. Because, you know, one of these encounters might go south. And I don't want to have to redo all that. Ooh. Ooh, more people. Hostile people. Whoa. You know, I've literally never liked swamp weapons previously on previous playthroughs. But doing it this time around is kind of interesting. I need to help Alistair here a little bit. Maybe we should just kill the leader because he's already low. Excuse me. Don't go for them. You're fighting me. Stop that. I cannot believe you would shoot my boy. Alright, let's see. What do you have in here? Nothing of note, Liliana. Open it. Aha. Perfect. Oh, this is better. This is better than what she has. Hold on 1 second. Heck yes. Alright. She has been improved. And you know, I realize I haven't spoken to her. Hello, madame.
Yes?
Tell me, what do you know of this place? Chantry's sister, local, kind of.
Lothering? I think it started as a settlement by the river, and then grew when it became the place where two roads met. There are always people in Lothering, but many are just passing through.
Like myself.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
Tell me about your vision, madame.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
Wow. You dreamed of the blight?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Oh, I think that's cool. Everything but, and this made you want to help me seems dismissive.
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the blight devours everything?
Look at her. She's principled. She takes action. I think she's perfect. We love her. I suppose I can sit by either, obviously. As indicated by my doing things about it.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a blight to stop.
That get me any approval? Okay, 2 approval. I'm happy. I I was like, wait a second, maybe I should have done the question.
Yes?
Maybe I should have grilled her.
Well, here I am.
Tell me more. What was life like in the Chantry cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yes, that tends to be self-righteous. No. Liliana isn't self-righteous, generally. Condescending, how so?
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
I prefer your ideas to the ideas of the Chantry. Ah, yes. That seems like a good answer.
Thank you. Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
I disagree. I think you should talk more, madame.
Yes?
I want to talk again.
Well, here I am.
Stop chasing me away. What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
A stubby princess. They don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they?
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Wow. And what did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Yes, of course, she says. Hey, Codex updated. There's more to Liliana than had even been apparent at Lothering, however. She spent much of her life as a bard in Orlais, a minstrel, assassin, and spy, employed by the nobles of Valvario in their elaborate games of intrigue. Okay, I guess this kind of spoils it, because she just stops at bard, a minstrel, when you ask her about it, and then the rest of that comes to light later, unless you read the Codex. And it's like, oh yeah, she was an assassin, and involved in political intrigue. Ooh. Oh yeah. Armor, a whole set of it. Crazy. But interesting. Yes, maybe don't read through the entire Codex on your first time through. Maybe I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe just avoid the companion one.
It shall be done.
Are there spiders over here? Am I misguided? No, I'm not misguided at all. I am actually quite right. How could I have ever done to myself? And I hit it from this far away. Okay. And then I think they have some sort of move where they like glomp you? If I'm not misremembering? Or thinking of something else? Get me out! Let me out! Thank you! I didn't need to do that. Oh, okay, there's more of them that aren't aggroed. Over here.
I suppose violence is a solution. But sometimes.
Violence is a solution, and we're gonna be dealing a lot of it. No problem.
I shall do it.
And here are the toxin extracts. I was not certain where to get them earlier. I may or may not have Googled it. But it turns out it's in the spiders. Yippee! For free.
Very well.
Okay. We have plenty of those now, I think. Is that all of it? It's not like a bear or anything, is there? The thought gives me Inquisition flashbacks. I think we've gotten most everything out here. I feel bad about the refugees. I wonder if you don't reveal to anyone that you're a Grey Warden, does that encounter just not happen? Could I have saved their lives by keeping my mouth shut? The world will never know. Okay, Morrigan. Morrigan does herbalism. Liliana's the one with poison. Crazy. Okay. I think this is what the guy wanted. We are about to find out.
So I asked.
No, someone was talking and I ignored them. How could I? Hello, sir.
Any luck with that poison? Or you here to see my stock?
I have what you asked for.
Splendid! If those beasties come on my land, I hope it teaches them a lesson. Here, there's enough gold to cover any of your expenses and then some, hey?
Heck yeah! Woohoo! Money! Okay, there's that thing taken care of.
The dogs were yelping all night long. Smell of the dark spawn, they keep telling me.
Don't be an idiot. There aren't any darkspawn here. Yet, anyhow.
Yet, being the operative
Some fella
word.
in the tavern said that the
Oh my
darkspawn
goodness.
turn folks into ghouls.
There's more!
What's a ghoul?
Good question.
Something like an abomination, maybe.
Not a
Oh,
good answer.
well, that isn't good.
Or actually, I don't know. Maybe that is. Maybe
you
that
see
is
the
the
new
right answer. Oh my
recruiters
goodness.
I'd keep your voice down if I were you. They're pressing anyone who can hold a sword.
Is this
into
all
service.
new?
The Terran wants a new army, but is it to fight them darkspawn or those nobles shouting against them?
Good question.
I've no idea, but I'm sure not about to raise my hand if you catch my meaning. Not after what happened down south.
That's a very good self-preservation tactic. Are you gonna start talking when I walk away again? No. Okay. I think we're good. Okay, and then what did the health lady want? Okay. Lesser health potions. I think.
What?
I'm sorry, Morrigan. And I'm not sure. Does it say how many she wants? 3. Okay. Well, I need a flask, and I know flasks are in here, so I'm just gonna loop around and be like, actually, sir, I was not finished with you. I require stuff.
Well, I still don't have food to sell.
That is fine by me. I need these things. 3 of them, actually. Thanks. Alright, Morrigan. I think now we're good. I don't even know if I had to craft those, or if just having lesser
The dogs
potions
were
would
yelping all
suffice.
night long. Smell of the
Even I remember that I have heard that one. Hello.
The blight has truly come, and the king is dead. We're all going to die.
Oh, maybe if you move fast enough, you won't.
Have any luck finding herbs in the woods?
Lots.
This will help many people. You're a good sort, you know.
I do my best. I complete. We're not missing anything too big by not doing her quest. I do feel a little bad though. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't put any points into crafting traps.
I'm wondering, Morrigan.
Ooh.
Do you believe in the Maker?
Certainly not. I've no primitive fear of the moon, such that I must place my faith in tales so that I may sleep at night.
But this can't all be an accident. Spirits, magic, all these wondrous things around us, both dark and light. You know these things exist.
The fact of their existence does not presuppose an intelligent design by some absentee father figure.
So it is all random then. A happy coincidence that we are all here.
Attempting to impose order over chaos is futile. Nature is, by its very nature, chaotic.
I don't believe that. I believe we have a purpose. All of us.
Yours, apparently, being to bother me.
Ah, yes. The religious debates between Liliana and Morrigan begin. Carry on, ladies. Just hearing your voices entertains me. Okay, and this... Finally?
Yes, of course.
What's in here? Nothing of note. I expected better from a merchant, but that's fine by me. There's a box I missed, I guess. Ooh. More drinking fuel. That's, important for somebody. Hello.
There'll just be more bandits as soon as you leave.
I think there will be worse than bandits, actually, but what do I know? Oh, did I do something for you?
Let him take notice and shine upon thee, for thou hast done his work this day.
Yay! I'm happy to be of service. Oh, there is a bear. When bears attack. On behalf of Thed the farmer and his departed son, I inscribe this missive as the waker... the waker... I can read. The maker is my witness. I charge all those with knowledge of arms and armor to brave the dangers of the northern wood to find the family of bears that mauled and killed the boy Enith. For they are an abomination in the maker's sight, and their hides would prove great comfort to the northern farms and solace for Thed's family. As chanter for Lothering, I do pledge a sum of 1 sovereign to whoever carries out this, the maker's will. Exercise caution first and foremost. May his light bathe us all. Great. Cool. A last keepsake. A thanks to all villagers who've opened their barns and crofts to the refugees in these dark times. The Chantry regularly hears praise from our visitors, and your virtuous deeds are mentioned in many prayers. Sadly, there is a lone boy in the village whose mother, good wife Sarah, is missing. As she has been missing for the better part of a week, as of this writing, she is presumed dead. May the Maker bless her passing. She was a lady of middle years with red hair and fond of a green cloak. If any traveler or resident comes across her in the wilds, please return her body or the effects on her remains. In later years, the boy will be thankful to have such keepsakes to remember his brave mother by. The office of the chanter will compensate this kindness with a sum of 50 silvers. May the Maker turn his gaze on us all. Okay. I was not, in fact, mistaken. There is, in fact, a bear. And we are just going to walk out and go slap the bear real quick. And then maybe at the end of everything, we'll go get Sten. And then scram from Lothering. Alright, and I'm pretty sure it's like a ways out here. Oh, wolves. Can I aggro? Ooh. Yes, I can. That's a lot of damage. Or maybe they're not very strong wolves. Okay. For sure, the whole path coast. I guess I'm Alistair, are you okay? Hopefully I'm using the modes properly. Goodness knows if I am. Can I taunt you? What is this about you? Oh, look at that. I can. Hopefully that was not a mistake. I kind of meant to use that on the other one, but okay. It worked for me. I'm sorry, wolfy boys. Okay, any wolf pelts for me? Those sold for a little bit earlier. Those were kind of nice. No? Okay. Ah, she was killed by the wolves. I thought maybe it was the bear. Alright, we've recovered her keepsake. The green cloak. Which was definitely there. Quest updated. Okay. Where's the bear? Ooh, there's multiple bears. I forgot about that.
Cross me and you shall pay!
Chanter do this by himself. That was definitely the lineage of Inquisition bears is clearly a different one. Okay, and I guess no pelts or anything. But Chanter's bored. Return to the Chanter. Okay, we did it. We got everything. No one panic. I am in fact doing exactly what I am supposed to be doing.
It shall be done.
And then I feel like, is that the last round of Chanter board requests? We're gonna find out. Feel like we're almost done with Lothering. Also, I noticed we have this glow. Song of Valor. That's what it is. The more you know. I was like, that's an awfully pretty sparkle we've got going on here. I'm a big fan of pretty sparkles. Hit me with those. Alright, Chanter. Give me my money.
The path of righteousness is full of hardship, but the Maker smiles upon its travelers. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Wow. Heartwarming. Oh, and I leveled up. Heck yeah. I think I kind of want to just start pumping dexterity actually, because I'm not gonna. The point of me is not to deal damage. Alright, and this is kind of what I was afraid of. I can't get any of the level 3 skills because I didn't pick the level 3 fighting talent thingy. So I guess I'm just gonna get this, and I feel like I can start holding points, maybe? There's no reason I can't, if I remember. And I guess I'll do 25. I'll do 25 strength for Alistair because it's a nice number. He can do level 3 talents, however. I guess I'll do overpowered. Why not? And there is this tactics thing that I should be doing. Maybe? Enemy health minus 90%. Oh, okay, I see. This is part of it. Enemy. Status. Health. I guess I can't just put any, maybe a highest health. You do. This thing. Okay. Enemy attacking party member. Maybe attacking if they attack Morrigan. Get them. Haha. Okay. I guess that seems good. Should probably do my other members, but yeah, I don't even know if that's gonna make any difference at all. So that's an awful lot of text. I'm good.
There'll just be more bandits as soon as you leave.
And I checked this earlier, but I'm gonna save before I walk in, just in case. I'm paranoid. Hello.
Good to see you again, Sister Leliana.
Thank you, Sir Marin.
Sir Marin? Did you know there were bandits, Sir Marin?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
You're welcome. Who's in charge here?
The revered mother runs the Chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Nice. Good to know. Any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Got priorities, I understand. Can you tell anything about the caged Kunari guy?
Is he still alive? The revered mother put him there a few weeks back. He'll be dead soon enough.
Seems like a very merciful way of doing
Make
things.
a watch over you.
That you have going on here. Alright. Everybody hold your breath. Nobody blink too hard. Oh my god, is it gonna crash? No. Okay. The loading screen. I am always terrified about the loading screens.
I brought my family to Lothering because I thought it would be safe.
You thought wrong.
What happened to the king is so terrible. Is anywhere safe now?
Not really, madame.
Where can we go? This is no better than what we left.
Keep going forward, I guess.
As if we needed more fighting here.
Yeah, look, I'm fighting for a good cause. Ooh.
But no sign of the main horde. We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
Ow, that sounds very intense. Hi, Sir Brian.
Yes, my lady? Who might you
My
be?
lady. Ooh, I do like that form of address. You can call me Alyssa. The Grey Wardens are ill-regarded around these parts, it seems.
I am Sir Bryant, commander of Lothering's remaining Templars. You don't seem like the other refugees. Are you one of Arl Eamon's knights?
I'm not.
Then what might I do for you?
Actually, haha. What can you tell me about the Kunari?
I was there at the farmhold. The beast stood there, wet with the blood of the children. He didn't even deny slaughtering them. The revered mother ordered him caged. She has more mercy than I do. But perhaps she is right, and the Maker has love for all his creations, even the Kunari.
Which is exactly why we leave them to die of starvation or get eaten by Darkspawn. Is there a way he can be released?
You can ask the revered mother. I say let him rot until the Darkspawn claim him.
Well, that's not very, PogChamp of you. Are you in charge here, merciful fella?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
Ah yes, unsanctioned magic, truly the greatest threat to all of mankind. And if you found an unsanctioned mage...
Let us pretend that I was such a mage.
Oh, I'm also curious.
What would you do to me?
I have no time to even think about such things right now. My concern is protecting these people. I see nothing threatening them other than the Darkspawn.
Well, that's very pragmatic of you. It's a good thing. Good thing you think that way. How do Templars fight against magic?
We have more than swords at our disposal. We're taught to dispel unholy magics as well. If only our powers work to keep away the Darkspawn. Alas, it is not so.
Where would I find the revered mother?
In her study, no doubt. Preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
And are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tairn Logain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
No, not Lothering.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Tell me about everything.
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tairn Logain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
It sure is rough out there. What do you mean? Interesting opinion for a fella like yourself to hold?
Tairn Logain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero, and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner. And the king's corpse is barely cold.
Very true.
If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
Very pragmatic.
Now, unless there's something else you need.
Things seem very dire.
They are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I need some information.
If the matter is important, certainly.
I may have asked everything. Ooh, any other
Only
news?
if you are interested in the business of mages.
Yeah?
I have heard word that the Templars who watch over the Circle of Magi's tower have called for the rite of annulment. Hopefully I've heard wrong.
I guess the right of annulment, a right that should definitely exist. What is the right of annulment?
If the rite of annulment is invoked, the tower and every living soul within will be destroyed.
We need the Circle's help. We should go and find out what's happening.
To have such a call when mages are needed to fight the Darkspawn, something terrible must have happened. I have nothing else to tell you. The only news I care about is the approaching horde.
Alright, well, thanks for the heads
Unless
up.
there's something else you need.
Ella. I should scram.
Travel safely.
I assume
may the Maker
there's
watch over
nothing
you.
else that you have to tell me on the news front. Hello,
As if
Suji.
we needed more fighting here.
I almost
Don't
feel
you see how
sorry for the
scared
Command
everyone
locked
is?
in that cage.
You should feel
Won't be able
sorry.
to defend itself from the Darkspawn.
I hope they don't come back.
They will.
You, Miss,
Maybe.
what
The
is your
Darkspawn
name?
will.
You
Maybe not the bandits.
seem quite odd to me.
You would not be the first to think so. But avert your eyes. I will not have you staring over long.
Best get used to it. I'll be watching you. We want no trouble here.
Wow. Rude. Don't
There'll
talk to
just
my
be
girl
more
that way.
bandits as soon as you leave.
Maybe.
As if we needed more fighting here.
Yeah.
Don't you see how scared everyone is?
Hello, you have an arrow over your head, sir.
I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks to Turn Logain.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Logain straight soon enough.
But if Arl Eamon is sick, why are you here?
Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
Wow, that sounds like a very intense quest that you're on. Shouldn't you be fleeing the Darkspawn?
My mission takes priority, but I fear I shall be returning to Redcliffe with nothing to show for my efforts.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon and
Why is that, if I may ask?
we need his help.
I see. The Arl is a popular man, it's true. Tern Logain, however, is a hero throughout Ferelden. Whatever the Tern has done or not done, the Arl remains ill, or worse. That is my primary concern.
Understandable. Do you have any advice?
If Arl Eamon were well, I have little doubt he would assist you. My quest, however, remains the same.
We should see what's happening in Redcliffe ourselves. I believe that now more than ever.
If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
So your quest. Oh wait, I should say your friend Sir Henrik is dead. That's important. Here, let's do this first.
And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
You are quite welcome. I do so enjoy giving people the effects of their dead relatives. I'm sorry about your friend. I drove off the bandits that killed him.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
So your quest for the ashes brought you here.
I expected to take advantage of the Chantry's library, in fact, but my skills are better suited to battle than chasing down tales.
Tell me more about this urn of sacred ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
Perhaps I can help you?
Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
No worries. It's what I'm here to do. Oop, Codex. We're checking the Codex. The sacred ashes of Andraste. Only one person witnessed Mafaroth's betrayal. Havard the Aegis, a childhood friend of Mafaroth, he accompanied his chief to the meeting with the Tevinters, not realizing what was planned. When he understood that Mafaroth was giving Andraste over to be executed, Havard, unwilling to draw swords against his friend and liege, placed himself between Andraste and the Tevinter soldiers. The Tevinters struck him down, and Mafaroth left him for dead. Let's see. I feel like... No, I have not. I've not read this one. This is familiar and yet different. Gravely wounded, Havard made his way to the gates of Minrathous to stop the execution. When he reached it, the terrible deed was already done. The armies on the plains long since dispersed. Havard, cursing his weakness, gathered the earthly remains of Andraste that had been left to the wind and rain and wet. When his fingers touched the pile of ash, his ears filled with song, and he saw before him a vision of Andraste dressed in cloth made of starlight. He knelt at his side, saying, "The Maker shall never forget you so long as I remember." Okay. The song faded, and the vision with it, and Havard was alone, but his wounds were healed. With new strength, Havard took up the ashes of Our Lady and bore them back to the lands of the Alamari. Okay, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Or wait, hold on. That is the sacred ashes of Andraste. I feel like, aha! Yes! Okay! Okay, I did read it. It's because it was in Havard's Aegis too! Oh, man. I'm about to out myself for how terrible my memory is. I'm like, did I read this 20 minutes ago? And in fact, I did. I'm not going crazy. Bear! We have a Codex entry on the bear! No beast is more beloved by Dirthaman than the bear. When the world was new, Dirthaman gave one secret to each creature to keep. The foxes traded their secrets to Andril for wings. The hares shouted theirs to the treetops. The birds sold theirs for gold and silver. Only the bears kept Dirthaman's gift deep within their dens. They slept the months away in the company of their secrets and nothing else. When Dirthaman discovered what had been done with his gifts, he snatched the wings from the foxes, silenced the voices of the hares, and turned the birds into paupers. But the bears he honored for their steadfastness. Transcribed from a Dalish Tale, 9-8 Dragon. Normally, it is almost unheard of for bears to attack travelers. They are, in fact, so shy and so inactive during the day that most people never encounter a bear at all. However, should a bear be provoked, they are remarkably dangerous. The normally placid-seeming creatures become enraged and can strike massive blows with their paws, capable of knocking a man off his feet. They are certainly spooky creatures when enraged, can confirm. Giant spider. Giant spiders tend to appear in old ruins and other places where the veil has become thin because of magical disturbances or a great number of deaths. In such places, spirits and demons pass into the world of the living and attempt to take control over living beings, spiders among them. Not all scholars accept this explanation for the presence of these beasts, however. Some claim that the thinning veil allows magic to leak from the Fade, tainting such creatures as these spiders transform into larger and more potent creatures than they ever would become naturally. While such spiders are known to possess powerful poisons and the ability to fling their webs at opponents in combat, studies of them have in view, and the full range of their abilities are unknown. Well, I'm sure we are going to get to study them a lot. First-hand experience galore. That's what we are going to have. Ooh!
Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
Praying for help from a prophet they burned, and a god who has turned his back on them not once, but twice.
Let him hear
Morrigan
our
has a
unwavering
point.
faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication and enduring perseverance.
Wow.
And then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven. And then shall the chant of light make it pure.
Whoa.
Let all mankind be humbled. Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
Very uplifting.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker.
Wait, there's books.
Let him hear our
Keep talking.
unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication and enduring
Yeah.
perseverance.
Yeah.
And then shall the Maker return
Yes
to
to
us.
all of that.
And then shall the Maker return to the
Ah!
Black City in heaven.
What do you mean it requires a
And
key?
then shall the chant of light make it
Fools.
pure.
Do you not know
Let
who
all
I am?
mankind be humble.
Okay, I've heard
Let
that
all
part.
repeat the chant of light.
Ooh,
Very
bookshelf.
The word dispels the darkness.
Hey, Codex updated. Ooh, okay. I guess interesting. So some of them just update codexes and aren't like their own entries. Huh. Hearing that Mafaros supporters would defile them, Havard took the ashes of Andraste to a secluded place high in the mountains, and there he carved from the living rock an urn to hold them. Time passed, and the whereabouts of the urn faded from memory. Perhaps it was the Maker's will that only the most worthy should find his beloved's final resting place. Now we have only the legends, such as that of the Chevalier Lothair, who quested to find the urn to save his dying daughter, and either found it in time to cure her, or returned 100 years after her death. The ballads end less than certain on that point. Okay, you got any more books? Maybe ones that give EXP?
I'm sorry, but I must prepare the Chantry's vestments
Okay,
before we flee.
don't let me interrupt you, Queen.
Those who seek redemption be delivered.
Redemption, deliverance, sounds good. Good to me. Liliana! You do this? Yes, you can! Heck yeah! I feel like that has to be a gift for her. Symbol of Andraste, like there's no way it's not
I'm sorry,
hers.
I cannot talk now. I must feed the holy brazier to ensure the flame never dies.
What's gonna happen when you guys leave Lothering? Who's in charge here? I know this, but I want to hear it from your mouth.
Sir Bryant can probably answer your questions.
He has answered a lot of them actually, but what's the significance of the brazier? He didn't tell me that.
It represents the flames that burned Andraste herself. Do you know the tale?
Of course. Doesn't everyone know? I know that not everyone does. I know that much. I know all Chantries keep a fire to honor her death.
The prophet was burned in the ancient city of Minrathous, before the ancient mages she had fought. Instead of dying in pain as the mages wanted, she was purified by the fire and taken by the Maker into the heavens to stand forever at his side.
How uplifting.
We are all sinners. The fire symbolizes our hope that forgiveness is possible. Thus, we all serve by feeding its flames.
Wow. If I sin, I should just set myself on fire. Well, you see, logically speaking, you could draw that conclusion. Aren't there easier ways to keep a fire going?
Of course. The dwarves have offered us coal and special rocks. Even the Circle of Magi volunteered to provide magical flames. If that isn't irony, I don't know what is.
Oh, how could they?
A flame means little without the act of remembering and atoning for our sins.
Ah, yes, it's symbolic. I see. I think I understand. Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
You know anything about the imprisoned Kunari?
Only that the revered mother sentenced him to starve in a cage for the murders he committed. Perhaps the Darkspawn will take him if he's not dead already.
Actually, I'm gonna take him.
I wish you well.
He's gonna come with me.
Then shall the Maker return to us.
I want to go home.
And then shall the
Don't
Maker
blame you.
return to the Black City in
There would be
heaven.
soldiers
And
here.
then
Well, they're Templars.
It's terrible.
Oh!
So many
a
come to
person.
Lothering seeking refuge, only to find that we can offer little more than prayer. Does the Maker see our plight? Is he moved by this destruction? I apologize. The Maker's plan is too grand for me to fathom, especially at times like this.
Yeah, sorry about your crisis of faith. Tell me who's in charge here for the third time.
The revered mother presides over the Chantry, and Sir Bryant leads the few Templars guarding us.
What are those priests chanting exactly?
The Chant of Light. Surely you know it.
Forgive me, I am an unwashed heathen. I've never heard it sung quite like this. That's fair.
Perhaps you haven't heard these verses before. The entire chant takes weeks to sing and is only done straight through at the Grand Cathedral in Val Royeaux.
That's very impressive.
Here we can only sing a few verses per week and finish anew each first day.
Each first day? Tell me more about the Chant of Light.
When the prophet Andraste was burned by the Magisters, the Maker turned away from his creations. We gain his forgiveness by spreading Andraste's teachings. The Maker will return when the chant is sung from the four corners of the world.
I guess we can't just put one person in each of the four corners and have them sing and test that hypothesis. Unfortunate. Aren't you worried about the coming Darkspawn?
We are preparing as we can, and when the revered mother calls on us to leave, we shall. But not before then.
That's very dedicated of you.
May the Maker watch over you.
Good luck.
All mankind be
You
humble.
will need it.
I brought my family to Lothering.
I'm not sure if there's anyone else I can actually talk to in here.
Where can we go? Mother says we have to run with what we left.
Well, you do. You should
Chant
run.
of light scattered in the darkness.
Yes, I can.
Word dispelled,
Yes, I can.
fear and ignorance.
Okay. I'll let you guys rest.
Yes?
Ooh.
What can I do for you?
Hatcher Gritch. I have I ever clicked on you before? I have a letter.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
When the
Sorry.
chant spreads across all four corners of the world,
I
let
don't
it rise
fully
at
know
last
what
to
I
the
am
ears of the Maker.
perpetrating
Hear
here.
our
There will be
Hello.
no fighting in here. You've been warned.
I sure have been warned, haven't I? As you say. Okay. But there are books. Give me a second. Give me a second, men. Mother. Hold. For just a second. I must investigate the books. Are there any clickable books back here? I'm not seeing any. Aha! I found one. The Imperial Chantry on the Schism of the Imperial Chantry. This may be important. There are those who would tell you that the Chantry is the same everywhere as it is here, that the divine in Valroyo reigns supreme in the eyes of the Maker, and that this fact is unquestioned throughout Thedas. Do not believe it. The Maker's second commandment, magic must serve man, not rule over him, never held the same meaning within the ancient Tevinter Imperium as it did elsewhere. The Chantry there interpreted the rule as meaning that mages should never control the minds of other men, and that otherwise their magic should benefit the rulers of men as much as possible. When the clerics of Tevinter altered the Chant of Light to reflect this interpretation of the commandment, the Divine in Valroyo ordered the clerics to revert to the original chant. They refused, claiming corruption within Valroyo, an argument that grew until in 487 Towers, the Chantry in Tevinter elected its own legitimate and uncorrupted Divine Valhale, who was not only male, but also happened to be one of the most prominent members of the Tevinter Circle of the Magi. Circle of the Magi, interesting. This black divine was reviled outside Tevinter, his existence an offense to the Chantry in Valroyo. After 4 exalted marches to dislodge these rebels, all that the Chantry in Valroyo accomplished was to cement the separation. While most aspects of the Imperial Chantry's teachings are the same, prohibitions against magic have been weakened, and male priests have become more prevalent. The Circle of the Magi today rules Tevinter directly ever since the Archon Nomarin was elected in 734 Storm directly from the ranks of the Enchanters, to great applause from the public. He dispensed with the old rules forbidding mages from taking part in politics, and within a century the true rulers within the various imperial houses, the mages, took their places openly within the government. The Imperial Divine is now always drawn from the ranks of the first Enchanters and operates as Divine and Grand Enchanter both. This is utter heresy. To any member of the Chantry outside of Tevinter, a return to the days of the Magisters which brought the Blights down upon us. But it exists, and even though we have left the Tevinter Imperium to the mercies of the dread Kunari, still they have endured. Further confrontation between the Black Divine and our so-called White Divine is inevitable. From Edicts of the Black Divine by Father David of Carinus, 811 bless. Forgive me for mispronouncing your name, sir. I'm curious if that's going to be super relevant in game number 4, where we are going to Tevinter. Curious. Anyways, Mother, talk to me.
Good day, Sister Liliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion. Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
What if I ask, who are you? Can I get around donating?
I am the revered mother of this Chantry. Traditionally, those who seek my blessing tithe first.
Wow. What an upstanding tradition. What tithe is acceptable?
Might I suggest 30 silver?
Wow. Okay. I can offer 5 sovereigns. I can't actually. I don't want that. That's too much. It's all my money.
Thank you, dear woman. What can I do for you then?
I wasn't sure if Morrigan was going to make a snarky comment. I think that would have warranted a snarky comment. I want to talk about Sten.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
What did he do? He told me, but I want to hear it from you.
He butchered an entire farmhold. Only one of the youngest hid long enough to survive. The child said his father had found the Canary gravely wounded and took him in. That kindness was repaid with murder. The bandsman found the Canary just standing amidst the carnage. He did not resist them.
Wow. Are you certain he did it?
He confessed quite readily, but would give no reason for the crime. Even the seasoned knights who apprehended him were disturbed by the carnage. However docile he appears, do not be fooled. That Canary is a danger.
What if this causes an incident with his people, you know, political problems and all?
The Maker demands justice, regardless of his race.
Is there any way I can convince you to release him?
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
I was thinking you might release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Leliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence. Your trust is not misplaced.
Heck yeah! We did it non-violently! Woohoo!
Yes? What can I do for you now?
Is there anything else? Give me your blessing.
I would be pleased.
What is it? What's it look like?
In Andraste's name, I call upon the Maker to watch over his child and creation. Watch over her path, O Maker. Give her light.
I don't remember this camera angle.
So let it be.
Thanks.
Now, if there is nothing else.
You sound mildly perturbed. Perhaps I
Farewell
should
to you,
go. I am
my
not
daughter.
going to tell you that I am a Grey Warden. I've learned a thing or two about that. Okay, book. Okay. No more clickable books. It looks like. I think I am free to go. I don't suppose that's the key to this, is it? I wonder. Am I supposed to intimidate another key out of her? Hey, Sir Brian.
Hello again. What can I do for you?
About those
Maker's
bandits.
breath. How many times must we drive them off?
I drove them off.
Indeed. They're gone.
It's true. I saw the bastard running for the hills myself.
Good thing I clicked on him again.
That's
I
an
forgot
impressive feat indeed. Will you accept a small reward for your efforts?
I could be like, yeah? Or I could be like, no need, thanks is enough.
That is very generous of you. If it interests you, there is a Chanter's board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
It's okay, I have enough money.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for all the help. Why are you guys all the way back there? Done, I guess. Look at you guys. Good for you. Hang out. Okay. Now, because I remain paranoid. I'm even gonna make a separate save before I test the door. I cannot imagine having to do all that again. Okay, we're good. We're good. Praise be. And I take it there's nothing left on the Chanter's board. Did I get all the Blackstone irregular things? Okay, I think I got the guy who was in Lothering, which is important because Lothering is about to stop existing here imminently. Once I get
a witch of the Kukari Wilds.
The girls are
They
talking.
also say that washing your feet in winter makes you catch cold in the head, but we all know that is not true. But sometimes they are right, and they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother would let me go without telling me all the stories of her youth?
My mother told me stories too. She was the one who kindled my love of the old tales and legends.
My mother's stories curdled my blood and haunted my dreams. No little girl wants to hear about the wilder men her mother took to her bed, using them till they were spent, then killing them. No little girl wants to be told that this is also expected of her once she comes of age.
I see.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Wow, that's pretty rough, Morrigan. My heart goes out to you. We will be telling less spooky stories on this journey if it makes you feel any better. Now to free a
You
murderer.
wish something more of me.
I have the key to open your cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She did. She trusts Liliana.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
How can you help us?
I have spent my life in the vanguard. I know war, and your lands need all the help they can get.
Yeah, they do. Come on.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
See, the fact that he's concerned at all about atonement indicates that he's not just a monstrous murderer for, you know, I guess without remorse, guilt. I forget his exact circumstance. Thank you, Sten. Glad to have you with us. I'm not gonna pester him about it.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Roger that. I'm gonna say that, and you are gonna go straight to camp, Monsieur. Sorry about that. Okay. I think that is everything in Lothering. I hope I'm not missing anything important. I did all the Chantry stuff. I got Liliana. I got Sten. Those are the most important bits. I don't think I really... Wait, hold on. I need to do inventory management. I'm pretty sure you get camp merchants right up here, but still. I'm gonna take one last peekaroo. Hello, Jason.
You do not seem a refugee.
The carnage we left in the wilds was horrifying.
I was technically part of the army, you know, the Grey Wardens and whatnot. I could have sold my stuff to the vendor in there, but I was thinking of this guy. So, we're talking to this guy.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something?
I'm looking to sell.
All right. Just don't buy everything up.
Alright. I got weight. Oathkeeper. Well, that one has a name. I don't want to get rid of it. Kinda don't need this. Kinda think I don't need this. Hats are illegal. I don't think I'm going to need any of these, actually, and they're just heavy. Get away. Get away. I have better. This doesn't do anything. Liliana does not need this. Unari, thickened cap. That's nice. I don't think I need it though. No hats, please. Thank you. Flint mail gloves versus chain mail gloves. I'm not sure the difference. Honestly, I don't think I need any of these. Grey Warden shield, metal kite shield, I guess is least interesting. I'm keeping named stuff, I guess. Great sword. Don't need that. I don't need regular daggers. I think I have this. Pretty sure Zephyr comes with daggers, but I could be wrong. Greenstone. I should probably start giving out some of these gifts at some point, but today is not that point. Freeze bomb recipe. Ooh. Concentrated venom recipe. There are recipes. Hello? I act as though I use them ever. I have a lot of gold, though. So, I mean, honestly, give them to me. Aha! Okay. That was a lot of gold, but you know, I think it's worth. I think this guy has some recipes too.
What's to be done?
I'm going on a shopping spree for all the possible recipes. Better materials make for better equipment. The more you know.
Well, I still don't have food to sell.
That's okay. I want the deadly stuff. Small claw trap, small grease trap, recipe. Sword of the Dead Gods. I'm pretty sure the Grey Warden dagger is just better. Amulet of Accord. You know, it might be good for Zevran. In case he gets hit. I don't know if I feel like spending a whole gold on it though, you know. Why not? Give it to me. I have money to spare. You know, I just don't like crossbows aesthetically, so I'm gonna sell that because I'm never gonna use it. And I feel bad getting rid of the Grey Warden helmet. What if I change my mind? They give so many stats. And that mod is probably making this much easier because the gear is really good. I don't know if it like falls off as you get further in the game and you're supposed to like upgrade.
To the dwarves. They're safe from all these darkspawn, I bet. Living underground, that's the way to go.
They won't let you in. You'd be out of luck at their door.
I don't remember this one.
Bastard greedy dwarves.
Holding your hat.
So why don't them mages just whip up a spell and make those darkspawn go
Oh,
away?
this is a good question.
Because they're damned useless.
That's not a good reason.
It's the Maker's punishment it is, for letting them mages keep on with their circles.
Should kill them now, just to be safe. Maker would thank us.
Ah yes, mage discrimination. The Ferelden classic.
What's to be done? What can we do?
Just keep your head down, that's what. And your wits about you.
What if every time I leave and they talk, it's because it's new? Oh, okay. Well, that hypothesis is immediately disproved.
They won't let you in.
Okay. Hi guys, keep talking. I've heard enough out of you. I will never hear your beautiful gossipy voices ever again. This is a toggle. It is. I need to pay attention. I may be toggling off things when I like totally don't mean to. This is a very conspicuous building that we cannot go into, I suppose. Fine by me. But you know, I was just curious. Ooh, there's elf fruit. Oh, and there's rubble. Large wooden round shield. Great, no. Maybe I got that one. But I have the Grey Warden shield, which is vastly superior. I think. Nobody checked me on that. I could be wrong. Okay, and I believe this is where we get our pals. Oh, and it's Darkspawn they're being attacked by. That's rough. That's rough, man. Mate. I am gonna shield defense. That seems like a very good idea. Morrigan. I need assistance. Please help me. Horror! What if I do this? Oh god, that hurts so much. Hold on. Hold on, we're in trouble. Hi, the Maker. Okay, that was a good freeze. Ooh, okay. Mind blast. What if I do that? Hey! That's handy. Alright, we're good. We're good. Nobody panic. Oh, there's a blood
Mighty
mate.
timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
You're welcome. The nice answer. Just how obliged. I'm not looking for an award.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
It's a bit complicated, but you're welcome to come along. Or you could be like, I doubt you want to travel with the Grey Warden. Look, if they're traveling with us, we're not going to keep the facade up for very long.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot.
No offense, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
I think, don't they join you anyways? Right? Right?
I shall do it.
Pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they do. Pretty sure they do. Nobody panic. There sure are a lot of sparkles. That's the kind of stuff I like to see. Blood mage, though. Sealed letter. Maleficar and regrets. Ooh. I won't go back. Let them hunt and dread finding me, but you, Melis, should not live this life. It would please me if you found a life in the Circle Tower. I left a few things there, mostly stolen from the enchanters. Sell them to fund a new path. The cache is in the study area. Middle alcove. Goodbye. Belgrus. Alright, moral of the story is that there's a cache in the study area that we're gonna have to investigate charitably now. Anyone have anything new to say? I want to talk to
here I am.
Liana. Oh, who need tales to share? You were a traveling minstrel.
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
I agree. Any Darkspawn stories?
Chantry law says it is man's pride that created the Darkspawn.
It sure does.
In ages past, the mages of the Tevinder Imperium ruled much of the world we know. In their pride, they thought their magics invincible and imagined that they were greater than the Maker himself. So thinking, they invaded his golden city, planning to take it for themselves and depose their own creator. But they were impure and full of sin, and it is with the sin that they tainted the golden city, corrupting it forever. The Maker cursed them and cast them from his sight. Wherever they went, they spread the taint of their sin. Any land that was touched by the taint became blighted and would suffer no life. Instead, the Darkspawn arose to torment us and remind us of our hubris.
Fascinating story. Any stories from Marley? A little bit of foreign stories up in here.
Telling stories. I shall tell you my favorite tale of Aveline, the Knight of
Aveline? Go ahead. That sounds interesting.
A long time ago, a girl child was born to a farmer. He had hoped for a son, not a daughter, and so he told his wife to abandon the child in the woods. Before the cold could claim her, the baby was found by a tribe of Dalish elves who took pity on the poor mewling thing and raised her as their own. Aveline, for that is what they called her, grew strong and quick and clever under the guidance of the elves. She learned to wield the sword as well as any man, could kill a deer with an arrow at 100 paces, and was as graceful on the back of a horse as she was on foot.
Wow, keep going, tell me more.
Aveline's Dalish guardians saw that she could easily best any Orlesian chevalier in battle, and wanted to show the cruel humans the child they had left to die. They bestowed upon her a fine horse and armor, and sent her to prove herself to her people in the grand tourney. Now in those days, no woman was allowed to take up arms, let alone compete in the grand tourney, but Aveline kept her helmet on and was not discovered.
Wow. Did she win the tourney?
Aveline won many events and gained the approval of the adoring crowd. Eventually, she came face to face with the knight Kaleva in the grand melee. Aveline had already bested him in the joust, and Kaleva was determined not to lose a second time. Out of desperation to regain his honor, Kaleva tripped Aveline and tossed her to the ground, ripping off her helmet as he did so. Silence fell upon the arena as Aveline was revealed. Kaleva declared the previous competitions invalid. A woman had taken part, and this was not allowed. But the crowd cheered for Aveline. Kaleva was furious, for he had lost to a woman and was now being shamed. Blinded by his rage, he forced Aveline to her knees. "Know your place, woman," cried he, and slit her throat.
Wow. That's kind of a downer. Kind of a downer ending. I was hoping for a happy one.
The son of the king, Prince Freyan, was present. He recognized Aveline's skill and bravery and began to see the injustice done to the women in his land. When he was made king, he rewrote the laws of Olay so that women could also become chevalier. He honored Aveline and knighted her after her death. And to this day, any female who is knighted reveres Aveline the Brave, for she is the patron of all women chevalier.
Aw, maybe that's where the name Aveline comes from into. Do you know any Ferelden legends?
I know one, told to me by my mother a long time ago. It always chilled me to the bone. Maybe you have heard of Flemeth?
I have heard so many things of Flemeth, about Flemeth. Morrigan's mother was called Flemeth, actually.
Are you sure? Was she the Flemeth of legend?
Maybe.
Flemeth, the devourer of men. Flemeth, mother of witches. Flemeth, demon-touched, who dwells in the mists.
She didn't really introduce herself as such.
Ferelden mothers scare their daughters with talk of Flemeth. They say that if you're bad, Flemeth will spirit you away and bind you to her forever. They also say that Flemeth mourns her lost beauty and will steal yours through your looking glass if she catches you.
Wow. Tell me the whole thing.
Flemeth's beauty was known throughout the land. She had hair like unto a moonless night, skin as pale as winter's first snow, and eyes as beautiful and perilous as the sea. When she came of age, she came to the attention of the Lord of Highever, Conabar, and he took her for his wife. Conabar soon learned that his young bride had the gift of magic. He kept this a secret, for he feared that she would be taken from him. Flemeth stayed with Conabar for some years, and with his blessing, she practiced her art. And then one day, a young poet named Osen came to the castle. Flemeth was captivated by Osen's voice, and he by her beauty, and they fell in love.
Ooh, the blood thickens. I like that answer.
Flemeth longed to be with her true love, and she and Osen fled from Conabar's lands, seeking refuge in the Kokari wilds with the Chasing tribes. They lived there happily for many a year, till the day Flemeth received news that Conabar was dying and longed to see her face one last time. Flemeth's heart swelled with pity for the man who once was her husband, and begged Osen to return to Conabar's side with her. But when Flemeth and Osen entered Highever, they were captured by Conabar's men, and Osen was slain in front of Flemeth's eyes. Flemeth was imprisoned in the highest tower of the castle, there to await Conabar's judgment on her. Distraught at the loss of her love, Flemeth plotted revenge against her husband. She summoned a fey demon, intending for it to wreak vengeance on Conabar. But a spell went awry. The demon possessed Flemeth. Turning her into an abomination, the halls of the castle ran red with blood as Flemeth slaughtered Conabar and all his men. The last of Flemeth's humanity melted away, and at dawn, she stole back to the wilds to plot and scheme for 100 years. They say she took to her side many Chasing men, and with their help, begat her daughter witches, who even now prowl the dark places of the Kokari wilds.
Fascinating story. It's different from the one Morrigan told us about that very same incident. Is there another story that you have? You know anything about the Dalish?
I have heard a little about how the elves gained their freedom from the Tevinter Imperium. When Andraste began her exalted march against the Imperium, the elves joined her cause to fight their masters. The great elven leader, Shatan, born in captivity, rose up to lead his people. He foresaw a future where the elves were free. Shatan was killed when Andraste was betrayed, but the elves continued to fight, eventually breaking free of the Imperium. The elves claimed the Dales in the south and settled there in the land of their own.
It didn't last.
The elves lived in the Dales for centuries. They resurrected the worship of the elven gods and would allow the building of no Chantry. This angered the Chantry, and the hostility between the two factions finally broke out in open war. The Chantry says the elves struck first, but I do not know whether to believe it. The Chantry declared a wholly exalted march against the elves, named for Andraste's similar march against Tevinter. During the exalted march of the Dales, the elven cities were sacked, and the elven state completely dissolved. Some of the elves bitterly accepted their fates and surrendered to human rule, living in the human cities as second-class citizens. But others, still fiercely proud of their heritage, refused to bow to the humans, and instead became homeless wanderers. They were the elves of the Dales, the Dalish.
Wow, that sure is one way to repay the elves for helping with Andraste. Haha. Real classy, Chantry. What do you know about Andraste?
Andraste was the Maker's chosen. The Maker had long since abandoned the world when the sound of her singing turned his ear. Beauty, grace, and wisdom enraptured him, and he offered to take her from this flawed world to become his divine bride. But Andraste had an earthly husband and would not forsake him. Instead, she beseeched the Maker to return to his people once more. So earnest was her plea that the Maker was moved, and promised that he would create a paradise on earth if all abandoned their false gods and turned once more to him. And this is why Andraste began her exalted march on the idolaters of the Tevinter Imperium. The Maker granted her his powers with which to smite her enemies. Andraste brought the Imperium to its knees, and her victories converted many to the worship of the Maker.
Wow, violence as conversion. How did Andraste die?
Alas, it was the frailties of men that betrayed and killed Andraste. Her earthly husband, Maferath, a chieftain of the Alamari tribes himself, grew jealous as his wife's popularity and influence overshadowed his own. She was also revered as the Maker's betrothed, and Maferath began to see their own bond waning in significance as Andraste became ever more devoted to the Maker. Out of envy and spite, Maferath made a pact with the Archon Hysarian of Tevinter, allowing his beloved Andraste to be ambushed and captured. Andraste was burned at the stake in Minrathous, the capital of Tevinter.
Whoa. But Tevinter has a Chantry, doesn't it? This is a good question.
The Tevinter Chantry claims that in Andraste's last moments, Hysarian's heart softened, and he heard the voice of the Maker telling him to end her suffering. He plunged his sword into her heart, and as her blood washed over his hands, he became one of the faithful. Dissenters said that the Archon only converted because he could not stem the tide of Andraste's cult, and was forced to do so to stay in power. We will never know for sure.
Wow. Crazy, crazy stories you got, Liliana. And I get approval. Aha!
What do you wish of me?
Right?
We are hardly alone, so
Can I talk about
privacy
something
is not an option.
personal?
It is your question, however. Ask what you will.
You are a heartless shrew, you know. No, I would never. Why are you still here?
I am here because Flemeth commanded me to aid you. Why? Do you wish me to leave? I can do so if you prefer.
Do you want to leave?
If I wanted to leave, then I would go. I remain, so do not ask such pointless questions.
Oh. Oh my god. Tacit approval? Tacit approval. I've erred. I have erred so badly. I would reload. I would reload if I'd had the wherewithal to save
What do you
before
wish of me?
my own heart is broken.
If you must. I cannot teach you, no, but any other mages that cared to learn, yes.
I'm
I could
sorry,
do that.
Queen.
Send whoever you wish my way, and I shall teach them what I can in the camp, provided they possess the will to even make the attempt.
I was just curious. Forgive me. I am so... I am devastated. Hold on. Look. Look. We're still at plus 11 with her. Does she like stuff? Anything that I have? He definitely would like the bronze symbol of Andraste. I don't want to give it to the wrong person, but you know. Well, at least Alistair has 20, and then Liliana has also 11. Oh god, I feel horrible. I'm so sorry. Alistair,
What
do
do
you
you
have
need?
anything new to say?
Ask away.
I forget. I probably asked, can you teach others to become a Templar? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna call it here for now. After that grave error on my part. I swear I will return and make up for my grievous sins against the lady. But that's gonna be it for now. So, toodles. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a nice day.